We are live, James.
Hello, everyone.
Right. So, need a better webcam, or I need to clean. We'll look a bit fuzzy. We will. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the People's Poll, the show each and every Monday where James and I discuss a topic of your choosing. How are we, James?
Tired. You?
It has been a hectic weekend of stuff, more for you even than me, but starting with Friday night's meet-up, plenty of football.
Starting in Munich last Wednesday.
Yeah, true. For you, you had that before that as well. Saturday was a busy day for me, and then Sunday you went up to Wolves for Tottenham, which involved a few beers as well. So it's been full on. End of game week 18, is it now?
17 gone.
17 finished, or will be finishing this evening with Crystal Palace Brighton. So it's not even finished yet. You've got 3 players today.
Surely I've got to hit a green
arrow. To go. Still to go. I'm on a green arrow at the moment as well. I mean, look at Kevin De Bruyne is basically saving people's game weeks left, right, and centre with me yesterday.
What a guy!
Yeah, I mean,
listen, we was all sitting there last week thinking, "Now, is it time to move on?"
I wasn't.
I think for the first time, it had kind of thought, I don't know. You're looking at it and going, coming into that Christmas run. I was never selling him this week, not before Arsenal. I was always looking at it thinking, sun could explode in them Christmas fixtures.
Yeah, I'm in a slightly different position because he could have had a couple more comfortably. I mean, my favourite tweet of the weekend was, I think it was Bet365. It was like, Kevin De Bruyne has the best left foot in the Premier League. He's right-footed. Yeah, it's mad. The guy's just mad. So he saved, and just not even FPL Sky as well. I made a few moves yesterday. None of them paid off. And Harry Kane and Dele Alli didn't perform. So ended up with, luckily I left the armband on Rashford and he got shot tier bonus, which is better than nothing.
Okay.
So overall 62 I'm on at the moment. It's interesting.
What are we talking about now?
Well, the poll options were drunk.
Yeah, a little bit. So I was looking at the potential of under.
I should have volunteered myself to spend some time thinking about it. Next time, just tag me in.
Under the vote was quite close.
It was too close.
Yeah, under 7.0 midfielders, under 7.0 forwards.
Yeah,
specifically what to do with Liverpool assets, and the idea of what an ideal game week 18 free hit would be is what won the poll just about. Now, the first thing to really, really importantly stress here is we do not advise anybody to be using their free hit in game week 18. I think, trust me, game week 31 is probably the week where it will be very shieldy to use it then. But I think it also probably is now. One of the things we've advised when we looked at free hits during blanks or double game weeks in the past is to look at it very much as what did we call it? An all-in strategy.
Yeah,
you're picking from just 3 or 4 teams.
Yeah, you got to pick from 4 because you can get enough players out. But 4 or 5, I think I remember from memory, I used in the last time I played my free hit.
So if we took that strategy, what teams do we even begin to advise here?
This is a real challenge.
It is.
Everton against Arsenal is the early kickoff. Now, Everton are under a bit of a resurgence under Duncan Ferguson. So, I mean, and Arsenal are rubbish. I said it after the West Ham game. This is the worst Arsenal side I've seen in a long time. Even though we'd gone on and lost 3-1, their point was proved yesterday at home to Man City. They're not good. So, Everton, Arsenal could go either way. But at the moment, you probably favour Everton.
And go on. All I was going to say to add to that is maybe getting news from my Arsenal correspondent insider here that Arteta might be in charge before the weekend.
I mean, that's I wouldn't have seen that coming, but fair play. Then you've got Villa, Southampton, relegation 6-pointer. They're both thereabouts, a couple of points
17th,
apart.
18th.
Yeah, so Bournemouth had a great win at the weekend. Burnley have had this clean sheet resurgence resurgence one game, but either way, both of that's the audition for the West Ham job. So that's obviously going to be a.
You criticised Howe and Dyche last week. They both won 1-0.
Well, no, the Ginger Mourinho will get criticism from me, but he won't get criticism in that long term. Short term, he might do one or two dumb things. I'm never going to go against Ginger Mourinho because he always brings it back, and he's still my first choice for West Ham. But that's a close game, right? Brighton, Sheffield United. Now, you'd probably favour Sheffield United with their away record and how well they've been doing. Brighton, good footballing team, so you can't go. Newcastle Palace is where you look for your defence, right? 0-0 all over that.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Norwich, Wolves. Oh, you'd favour Wolves,
Yeah,
but Norwich, with the return of Stiepermann and Zimmerman and all that, look a bit better. Pookie's been scoring goals, although he might have broken his toe or whatever. Man City, Leicester. Who's going to call that?
It's not even obvious now, is
it? No. Watford, Man United, and Watford were better against Liverpool.
They were unlucky.
Lot better. A lot better. So, and then Spurs, Chelsea. This is a tough game week.
So go on then, pick the 4 best teams from that.
The 4 best teams.
I don't even know. Personally, the first play, the 2 I would start with is probably Wolves and Man United.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest is like, it's a crapshoot, mate. It could be any of them.
Yeah.
I would have probably even possibly said Everton.
I would have gone in on Everton.
But I don't know if that's now different.
But the question is who at Everton, because they've got quite injuries. They keep getting hit with injuries at the moment. So would you go probably Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin are the 2 that you'd look at?
I think the community is probably a lot of them would be screaming like at Spurs, and I disagree at the moment.
I am with you on that. I don't think so.
Do you go Man City because they're still Man City and they're playing a home game?
Well, there's going to be at least 5 or 6 players in your team that are the set and forgets. Would you kind of sort of think about your Lundstrom, Kevin De Bruyne, Jamie Vardy? You've got 3 players there that you are brave to drop.
That's why I think that were you to do this, you couldn't take an all-in strategy on this. You'd hedge your bets everywhere, I think.
Yeah, and then it doesn't really fill me with the most amount of confidence when I'm spreading players thin on a free hit. Because I mean, take Spurs for example. Pick a Spurs attacking asset like Son or Ali or Kane, who most people have done now, and it's Mora, Vertonghen, Eriksen, and Dyer that pick up the points. Right? When you're spread like that, I don't like it. Whereas now I think having double coverage from any one team can potentially help. Vardy, De Bruyne, and Lundstrom would be in straight away for me. Followed by, I'd probably Rashford for Manchester United. I'd definitely take.
I looked briefly at a free hit team last night. You want me to go through what I came up with?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I tried to work something, and I guess it gives you good players to potentially target this weekend. Anyway, again, really not advising using a free hit at all.
No.
And I tried to do this within 100 million, which with no Liverpool, it's quite easy. Really.
Yeah.
The first place I wanted to start was defensive. And this is where this weekend, I think, particularly becomes really interesting. So you've got 3 guys that are going to be really popular in the community, which are Lundstrom, Kelly, Rico. I think that's going to be a lot of people's back 3 this weekend. Now, are they the best defensive assets this weekend? Those 3 players?
Well, looking at my back line right now as it stands in my dead team, which we can do in front of me, is Rico, Kelly, and Lundstrom.
And I will also be playing all 3 this coming Saturday. And I think a lot of this community will be. So were you free hitting, do you almost have to go those 3 as a shield?
No, I would go for more attacking threat, like Luca Dean, for example.
I would say that defensively, and we'll get more of a clue on this tonight, but actually the best defensive punt this weekend might be Newcastle.
I would have said Willems is interesting.
Yep.
Serge Aurier is interesting. Luca Dean is always interesting. When money's no object, potentially those 3 could be of interest.
So to make a back 5, a squad of 15 for a free hit, I also put Willems in and Lewis Dunk of Brighton. In a fixture with Sheffield United, we can go either way. And then what I'd end up doing there is you'd be leaving the 2 home players on the bench. And the reason you'd be doing that is too much fear on the combination of those other 3. We never talk too much about combinations. We go, the ownership. The combination ownership on these 3 is going to be quite high, really unusually for this weekend, because a lot of guys are going to be leaving out Leicester assets away to City. It's not just Tomori's not been playing for Chelsea, but another one you'd probably leave out this weekend. And obviously the Liverpool assets as well. So I just got a message saying, take that all day. I need to know who my teams are in the Champions League, mate.
Okay. It is here. Real Madrid versus Manchester City.
Nice.
Borussia Dortmund, Paris Saint-Germain. Atlanta, Valencia. Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool. Chelsea versus Bayern. And Lyon versus Juventus.
That leaves us Barcelona or Leipzig, does it?
So you're more than likely coming out with Leipzig. It hasn't refreshed yet. Let's have a look. Tottenham versus Leipzig. Yeah, you're back to Germany again.
I mean, it's a good draw for us, isn't it? We can't complain at not winning your group. It's a tough tie, but in the last 16, you can't complain about getting that tie. Really tough one for Chelsea. With Bayern and Liverpool against Atletico. What was City?
City was Real
Madrid.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's going to be good.
I mean, on paper, you could argue Spurs have got the best there, haven't you?
Oh, by far. Yeah. Atletico Madrid are tough as nails, man, under Simeone.
Anyway, back to
midfield.
Well, just to add to that, I also put keepers. So I wanted to put a keeper on this list. People are WhatsApping me bad now. I went to pick a keeper, again, not from one of those clubs, to spread the funds. So I think Tom Heaton would maybe be the answer here. I don't think there's enough trust in a Target or a Gilbert to pick over, say, Rico, Kelly, Lundstrom.
No.
And I think otherwise probably Villa have the best of the fixtures. Although I think it's only maybe one away game Southampton have failed to score in since the opening day at Burnley.
I feel like a safer option would be Henderson. No, not maybe David De Gea. I mean, there's no safe options here, but David De Gea. I'd probably go with David De Gea if I had enough money over Tom Heaton. I mean, I bought Tom Heaton last week. So I
think a little bit of trust was lost in United after that again yesterday.
I mean,
seeing how deep Everton went, which I suggested that they might.
They had an arm, I don't know, VAR, arm across his face for David De Gea, impeded.
Yeah, possibly a foul. But not enough to say clear and obvious rule of goal.
No, not clear enough that United or Everton didn't deserve at least a point from the game. So,
yeah, I mean, did you watch all of that?
Not all of it. I watched bits and pieces of it.
From what I saw of it last night, it looks like they defended pretty well.
Yeah,
and they gave United the problems that United don't like being faced, which is kind of having to come into a crowd of players and that. No chance to get sort of 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 situations. Everton weren't going to allow that to happen.
No.
And you wonder if Watford might do similar to them at the weekend.
Quite possibly.
So, I mean, in this free hit team, I only picked one United player.
Rashford?
Well, yeah.
Because he's clear and obvious. But who did you have in midfield? Kevin De Bruyne?
Yeah, I would still go De Bruyne and Sterling.
You can't go away from Kevin De Bruyne.
The thing is with the two of these guys, like any game week, you've seen that with them yesterday. All right, yeah, Arsenal not the best opposition at the moment, but De Bruyne and Sterling, and especially if you're not going to captain them, you notice the capability, right?
See, you say Arsenal are not great at the moment. No one's stopping Kevin De Bruyne's second goal. Very few teams or keepers are going to get to that. The first goal as well was a fantastic finish. I don't think their goals were particularly. They could have scored them against anyone, even top opposition.
No, see, that's where I disagree a little bit. Is because of the pockets of positioning that Arsenal were in them.
There were when I watched the game, that was the biggest, strangest, weirdest thing. How they let Kevin De Bruyne sit in between the defensive midfielders and the defenders. Like he just found himself in 2-3 meters of space all the time. Yeah. I'm like, are you mad? Like it's so clear and obvious that he's there.
But then that's the point, isn't it? So think of Leicester at the weekend and think of Ndidi. He's going to close that space off a bit. But he's still got the capability from other areas as well. There's no doubt about it.
True.
I would have also gone midfield here. I'd go Jack Grealish.
Home tie against Southampton. I mean, Southampton didn't look good against us at all. So
no, and Grealish obviously missed the penalty at the weekend, so it might be. I'd go Richarlison.
I can't argue with that. I'm even considering Richarlison for my main team, so I can't argue with that at all.
I just think the way that they're defending Arsenal, and he's basically playing up front at the moment, Richarlison. So Yeah. And I'd only put one asset in here from the Spurs-Chelsea game. I'd go Dele Alli. His history in this fixture is very, very good. He scored more against Chelsea than any other club. And so for a one-off tie, I'd go Dele Alli.
I personally would take Heung-min Son over Dele Alli. Again, it's my bias on favouring Heung-min Son. The price between them isn't huge.
Heung-min Son was poor, really poor yesterday. I'll talk about that more.
I'm interested because I didn't watch the game, but I was keeping up to date with it, and I had it on the radio in the background. For all of the reports, it was how Spurs got away with a victory. I don't know, and Wolves really kept a lot of the ball in possession and
completely stole it. So the final player on that subject, nice segue. I mean, you got to have some Wolves coverage in there. Jimenez, obvious.
Yeah, up front, I agree with you. I don't know. What are you doing with Leicester coverage in that team there? You've not picked Maddison or anyone. No Jamie Vardy. You don't think Vardy's worth it against a Manchester City team?
I mean, look, the majority of us own Jamie Vardy. The majority of us obviously keeping Jamie Vardy for this weekend and possibly for the season, depending on blanks, doubles, and how it works out. If Leicester end up with double game weeks, for example, there's every chance we're all keeping Jamie Vardy until game week 38.
Yep.
So I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying if you ask me to pick a best 11 for next weekend, he's not in it. I would prefer Rashford, Jimenez. The other name I'd throw out from forwards is Josh King.
Fit again?
Came off with a knock at the weekend. But if he is fit, they've got problems, haven't they? And he's probably going to play right through the middle, Josh King. That's how it started at the weekend. And with them 4-5-1 was a much deeper setup from them. And I mean, King had license to essentially do whatever he wanted, come short, go in behind.
Yep.
And when he had that amazing spell a couple of years ago, he was basically playing up front. And he could be a real outside shot for this weekend, I think. But you've got to wait to see if he's fit.
Yeah, I think Josh King's a good shout with Callum Wilson's problems now. He's going to be out for a little while, isn't he? So Josh King's got a lot of points this season, points per minute or whatever, however you want to look at it. He was playing well on the penalties as well.
His ownership's very low as well.
4% at the moment. Josh King is a particularly good shout. I don't agree with going away from Jamie Vardy. I think Jimenez is definitely a good shout, and Rashford. I'd play those as a front three. But yeah, Josh King is a good shout if you want to spread the money around.
If you were going to do this, I think you'd be going quite template defensively. When we say template, we are probably saying Twitter template here. But Lundstrom and Kelly are going to be template even for dead teams. Are going to end up in teams this week, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I think where you'd want your differentials are more in the forward positions. Rashford, Jimenez, Ali, Richarlison, their ownership is very low compared to like Vardy's and what's not. So obviously, so if you were going to, ideally with a free hit, when you're being aggressive with it, you want to go for that all-in strategy. I can't see where it is.
No, it really isn't.
Absolute disaster this weekend if you get it wrong.
When we talked about putting this together, first thing I wanted to do is ring fence 3 teams and say I want 3 from each. Couldn't do it at all. I suppose defensively it was Palace and Newcastle stood out to me particularly as the ones, and then maybe Manchester United because Watford haven't been good at creating chances or creating goals. So it would have been Willems, Guaita in goal, that kind of thing I was looking at. Wolves away at Norwich, but I mean Norwich have been doing okay, and then Man United.
If you were going to take that all-in strategy, you probably would look at going. I think blanket Newcastle Palace defensively.
Everton
blanket forwards of United, Wolves, and one other.
Everton probably. Richarlison. I'll take Richarlison.
There's a 1 maybe. I don't think there's not any. I wouldn't be looking at like.
No. It'd only be 1. Richarlison.
No, but I mean, if you wanted to go that all in, could you have enough from United Wolves if you went Traore, Jota, Jimenez, Martial, James, Rashford?
Yes, you definitely
could add Richarlison to that, and then go to Newcastle Palace defensively.
Yeah, it would be bold.
I think that would probably, and then you'd avoid City, Leicester, and Spurs, Chelsea completely, which is then dangerous. There's some big ownership amongst those guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Sterling and De Bruyne have lost some ownership in the last few weeks, but it's still a decent number. I didn't realise until the goal that obviously got amended at the weekend, Maddison's assist. I didn't realise Maddison's ownership was so high now.
It's really crept up. The only reason I realised it was so high was because of his price keeps going up. Like I've had him at 7.1 and he's now 7.8. And every other week I've had a point or two out of him in price rise. I'm like, okay, people are still steaming into this guy.
Would you consider that as a possible strategy if you were doing it to literally go with proper template? Like put in Maddison, Vardy, De Bruyne, Sterling because of their ownership numbers?
I wouldn't, and it's not because I just don't like the idea of a template. Take, for example, our good friend Johnny Pringle, right? Up top of the Planet FPL correspondence table now, and doing really, really well. Overall rank 44k. But you're looking at his team here. Mane, De Bruyne, Mount, Vardy, Rashford, Abraham, Lundstrom, Trent, Soyuncu. There's Henderson, you can argue, is the goalkeepers you hardly ever get that much concentration in any one player anyway. And maybe Zaha. I'm just thinking like it's so template, it's hard to then make any moves.
But look at his position.
Yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. But then now for me to, but I'm not going to catch him by being template. I'm going to have to break away and try and find those additional players. And not just his team. If you then go down to the team below, and the team below, 7 or 8 of the players are the same all of a sudden. Brighton correspondent Sam's doing really well. Soyuncu, Lundstrom at the back. Okay, he's traded Trent for Robbo, Mane, De Bruyne, Zaha, Mount, Vardy, Rashford.
So that's good to know, wasn't it? There's some guys who are doing well, weren't the only dickheads who went for Zaha.
No. So, yeah, would I go template? It's just making the game a little boring from my point of view. If we're all on the same players, I understand it. The game is the game, and you want to do as best as you can. But I don't see how I'm going to break from 989,000 as I am by going to the template because everybody's already on it.
No, but there are other ways that you can utilize gains, like chips, for example.
Yeah, but now's not the time to be playing chips necessarily.
I've seen a few people mention this with doing the free hit this week, because of the Liverpool issue. And obviously, I mean, it certainly wouldn't be a consideration for anybody that's still got the wild card. But for those of you who's the first one, it just doesn't make any sense to me, I'm afraid. I cannot possibly see where the gains are going to be. I've seen a few people say, if you've got like 4 or 5 issues, that's enough to do it. No, it's not.
No.
Might come to game week 31. I'm telling you, might have 8 or 9 issues.
For me, now is not the time to do it at all. Yeah, definitely. This week, I feel like I've kept pace with everybody and had a bad week, strangely. I don't know how you feel. I mean, yours is not over. You could still end up around 60. If you take 65 points now, 65, 70
would I take 65 points now? No.
You need more.
I need those Palace guys to fight for me tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. One of the mini leagues I was in, one of my mates, Captain Salah, and had Trent Alexander-Arnold and Van Dijk. So he's sitting on 45 points after the first game. That was painful to watch. And I ended up only 10, 11 points over the entire game week behind him, which I feel like I've escaped.
There's a lot of good FPL players who are going out. Like it was obviously the cup started this week.
Yeah.
A lot that are getting absolutely ruined by dead teams with Captain Salah.
Yes.
De Bruyne, even Lundstrom.
Yeah.
There might be more to come with that as well.
Credit to my opponent in the cup for first bench, Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, wow. Who does that?
I'm not sure because they didn't play a chip either. And they made 2 transfers this week. So 31 points so far.
What's their overall rank?
They joined late.
You've got Ramsdale on the bench as well for a 10-pointer.
They joined particularly late. I only started in a late game week. My point with this guy is
he's got more points on his bench. He's got 35 points on his bench.
Yeah, that's true. Has there ever been a defender that scored 32 points in a single game week? No, so then I'm safe because he's still got Lewis Dunk to play. So unless Lewis Dunk pulls out a 31-pointer today, I'm through in the cup.
Well done, congratulations. Some of us didn't even qualify.
It's little victories that we have to try and get now. So interesting week. Do let us know in your comments and Twitter and what have you if you are planning on playing your free hit. I haven't come across many, I'll be honest with you.
No, not many at all. But I've seen a few doing it. Again, the strong advice is So I think this weekend generally is gonna piss in the wind for most people.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a crap game week. I just don't think there's gonna be enough games in it.
Keep track.
And so many of fixtures like Brighton, Sheffield United. We'll speak to Sam and Tomo on Thursday.
Yeah,
that fixture. Even Villa, you go, yeah, you're at home to Southampton. Is it that obvious? United and Watford after Watford's performance Saturday. You could look at Spurs Chelsea at the moment and go form, but I'm not encouraged by what I'm seeing by Spurs. And I know that Chelsea will probably change system against Spurs. Leicester at City. Like the whole weekend is unpredictable, in my opinion.
Nice.
When Arteta comes in, that just changed the game for Arsenal.
No, they're just not good enough. But do you know what? Whilst we were recording, I forgot that we were actually live streaming because I didn't have the live stream screen in front of me. We've literally been recording the podcast as if it's a podcast with zero interaction. For those that don't know, Manchild, the producer, who made a very big guest appearance at the meetup, which we'll talk about on the main podcast, has gone on holiday. He's gone to New York.
Yeah, I mean, real FPLers don't take holidays during the Christmas period.
Nah, shout out Josh and Brandon if you need a special guest for one of your episodes to give you really good FPL advice. Manchild is in New York right now. He'll come on.
Better off going on.
He'll come on and
FML FPL, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah, he'll probably swear a bit more. Yeah. Shout out to you guys that have jumped on the live stream. Let's give them all a bit of a quick shout. Matt Hall, how are you, mate? Yeah, very well. Nice little surprise. So the beautiful game of FPL. This was a surprise, a live FPL on a Monday morning. You'll be getting live streams all of this week because of the lack of video editing. We can't be bothered to edit the videos ourselves. So
no, it's not that. Yeah. We just can't do it as quick or as good as Manchild does.
Sean Thompson, he's saying it's 7 p.m. in Western Australia. So lucky for you, you get nice, put your feet up and watch us instead of neighbours. Shout out to FPL Booner who's saying Spurs v Leipzig. And how is James still going after this weekend? No doubt James has been on it. When are you streaming the main pod? We will be going live at 5:45. Give ourselves a bit of wiggle room. 5:45 this evening, so you'll be able to jump in on the live stream. Slightly different. Maybe we'll take questions from the live chat later on today rather than tweeting them in. Or a bit of both and see how we do.
I'll still send a joy up.
Yes. So tomorrow we have Tottenham, both Tottenham and West Ham winning this weekend. So
both winning away.
Yeah, away from home as well. We only win away from home because we don't won at home for yonks. So I got an interesting take. I mean, I put it out yesterday on Twitter, so that will be an interesting conversation. I think, look, Pellegrini's not getting sacked, in my opinion. He's just won another game and he's played two up top. So if he's not getting sacked, then what choice have I got? I may as well get behind him and try and support the team.
I think he might still get sacked.
I'm not convinced. I don't think they want to sack him, so they're hoping that he does turn it around. A few weeks ago, I said 6 points between now and Christmas. We've got 6 points from Chelsea and Southampton. We've now got Bournemouth and Leicester between now and the end of the year. So another point, and we're ahead of what I thought we would be at. So interesting. And then I'm really, really intrigued about your breakdown on Spurs because still flattering to deceive a little bit, like picking up results without playing well as you were in the Poch.
Got a lot to say on Spurs this week.
It's Emperor's new clothes, is it maybe? Was it a trap when everyone dived in on Ali? I mean, you did say don't hold your horses, but we shall see. So plenty on Tottenham. Clash of the correspondents this week. Who do we have on, Jamis?
FPL Seagull, FPL Blade, Brighton, Sheffield United Thursday.
Yeah.
Really, really looking forward to that one because they're probably the two sides that have impressed me most in this season for differing reasons.
And they are second and fourth in the Correspondence League, respectively. So two high flyers there. I heard from FPL Blade on Twitter that he's selling the Moose this weekend, Moose. So I may be selling Moose as well.
Yeah. And FPL Seagull said he bumped into Aaron Connolly in Brighton on Saturday night. So assumes if anybody's waiting for Connolly points tonight, assume that he's probably not going to be at Selhurst Park.
No. Interesting. You're breaking news.
There's some insight there for you.
Sky FF, how many are you on, James, at the moment?
90 or something, I think.
Okay, I'm on 81.
Decent week. I'm up to 6,500.
I went up 2,500 places. Not a lot, but 81. I thought I did okay. My transfer moves are bringing in Ali, Kane, and Rashford.
So many of us would have had the captaincy bust on De Bruyne and then bought in and changed it.
Yeah. But that is that. And then we will have the final plan review on Friday as normal, where we'll be running down final bits and bobs before game week 18. I've got a weekend off West Ham. I mean, yeah, Pellegrini should keep his job for no reason. We can't lose a game for another 2 weeks at least, can we? So we're safe. 3 points behind Arsenal. 3 points behind Arsenal on the table. So
you should have won Monday night. You'd be 3 points above them, wouldn't you?
We're tied on points now with Brighton, Bournemouth. So this is a okay season to get away with having a shit season.
On that, there is a little gap that's open now between Everton 16th and Villa 17th, and that's why I think that Villa Southampton game has just become absolutely even more huge on Saturday.
Exciting. Yeah, I mean it's still from Arsenal on 22 points in 9th all the way down to West Ham in 15th. Tight.
The Bournemouth win was the big shock of the weekend. With the injuries as well, fair game to them. You couldn't have seen that coming, and that was a big win for them because they'd have been right in that scrap with another defeat. Yeah, for sure. Guys, thanks for tuning in on the live stream. Thanks for tuning into the podcast as per always. Do comment and like and share and subscribe and reach out to either James at Planet FPL Pod or myself, Suj James, on Twitter. And we'll try and come back and respond to you all. Other than that, anything else to add? Nope. Ciao for now. Cue music, man, child. No, cue music, Suj. Oh, cue music, Suj. There we go. Ciao. Cheers, YouTubers. That's the audio is off. YouTube, thank you for joining in. The 45 and 43 of you that are there. We'll be going live 5:45 p.m. UK time on the live stream later. So do jump on. Thanks, Paul. Cheers, Jeff. See you guys. Thank you. Yeah.